What's going on today, guys? Today, I'm going to show you guys how to disassemble the J series transmission. I should say just take the case off. That'll allow you to inspect what's going on inside and see if any visible damage is in there. I actually had some real tiny silver flake coming out. It actually looked like aluminum, but I wanted to get it in there, being that I have the Del Sol taken apart. I put H-beam rods in it. We're going to go ahead and do the ARPs, the valves, springs, retainers, all that. I freshened the motor up, put all brand new bearings and everything in it. We're not going too extreme with this one. I'm actually pretty happy with the way the car is. So I'm actually going to keep it at about the same power level. I just wanted all the extra safety and all that stuff. I actually blew the last motor up. I took it to the track. I ran 27 PSI at the track on the stock block. And then while I was in the pits, I was working on the two-step, and then I went and got in line, and I two-stepped it while I was actually in line to race, and the cylinder gave out. And this is what that looks like. Now, I got a new block. I actually had this one sitting here, so I threw it in. At the track, I was having clutch issues, so I went ahead and bought a Spec 3 Plus clutch. It's rated for 600 foot-pounds, and I'm only making about 450 foot-pounds of this. Well, I'm right at 450. 500 to the wheels. The whole problem I'm having is I can't wrap out the engine far enough. I can't, and that's causing problems actually at the drag strip with this car. I can't run fourth out very long. I'm shifting at about 6,200 RPM. And whenever I'm running, 15, 18, 27 pounds of boost, I don't want to wrap that engine out. I'm pretty much deathly scared that that motor is not going to hold together with the valve springs and everything in it. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade them. For the hatch, I actually got some new parts in. The Wiseco's that Aaron O'Neill sells, and I got the P2R I-beam rods. I'm going to go ahead and do the valve train in it also. And then I actually ended up snagging a Tilton twin disc from a local guy that is getting out of the J series for now. So we got tons of stuff coming on that. I'm probably going to start tearing the other motor apart in a couple weeks for the hatch, and that's what all the good stuff is going in. It will be pushing it to get it on the track next year, or this year, I guess, 2022. So it's going to be a lot of work, but I'm going to at least try to get it on the track this year. If I can, I don't know if I'm going to be running the turbocharger yet. I haven't even decided what size I'm going to go with, or even if I'm going to go with twins or single, or what I'm going to do. Either way, I know I'm going to have nitrous on it, so I'm going to go ahead and buy the nitrous kit, and if I can at least get it running, I'll get it tuned NA, and I will run nitrous on it this year. And then whenever I get the turbo or turbos, either one, I will use the nitrous to help spool that up. That will help me get to the power point that I want to be at. So if there's actually something in this video that you want to see, let me know in the comments. And I'm going to actually be rebuilding my other transmission. I actually have two more there, and I have two over here on the other side of the cart. I'm going to be rebuilding the one for the hatch no matter what. I know a couple of them have some synchros going out and just little various problems. So I'm going to be rebuilding one of them, and then I'm going to put a cuff in it, so I will not have 6th gear anymore. And then hopefully that transmission will hold up at the drag whenever I start getting some real power numbers out of it. So anyways, let's get to it. and start on this transmission. All right, so there's two of these bolts that carry the balls. This one's a short one. It's right here by the reverse switch. And then the other one is directly underneath of the reverse lockout. And these do have balls in them, so be careful. Don't lose the balls. These ones are a hair longer. If you can see this. This is a short one, and this is a long one. This one's actually inside of it, just a hair. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. So there is a spring and a piston in there. There's the piston for the lockout and the spring. Don't lose those. You're going to need them. And I like to use a magnet with just something, a bit or whatever. That gets all the balls out easier. All right, so get this. This one is your fill 10 millimeter, and it's got a washer on it. Go ahead and take your drain out. The fill. The reverse. The cap and O-ring. There is a cap over here. This one was a little bit hard for me to get out the first time. I took a screwdriver and put it underneath this tab, and then it actually has just a small edge right here. And I took a screwdriver and just kind of pried up on it. It's got a spring in there. And then there's actually a filter. If I can get it to come out now. There it is. This filter right here. You do want to inspect this. See if there's anything in there. Just checking on the camera to make sure that it is still working. Don't want to have another issue. And my GoPro does not like these gloves. It will not register anything in there. So pull these out. Be careful with these. Mine actually had a little bit of metal on there, just a hair. I'm talking barely anything. This is the actual one that I use. I actually don't use the other one. This one actually goes to my digital decoder and reads the speed. That goes to my dash and my Delso. Does anybody else have that an issue out of their digital decoder that sometimes it takes a second for the speed to start reading? Like sometimes I can be through my quarter-mile race before it actually starts reading my speed. And then another time, be running just fine. I find that odd. And some of these were hard to get out. Some of these were pretty tight. Oh, you know what? I actually missed the ball. Just realized that. You definitely want to make sure you get all these out before you pull it. Because you can mess them up. From what I've heard. I've actually never messed them up. And there's a 14 right here. So this clip right here, you're going to have to spread it open. Probably just get the camera over here. This is just like a B series, or just about every Honda. Sorry, my camera is not reading my finger. There it goes. So this clip right here, you have to expand it, and it actually has just a tiny groove on that bearing that it rides. This one's already unsnapped. It was like that. I've already had this transmission apart, so yours is not going to be like that. Those are going to be a lot closer. As you can tell, I go through a lot of gloves. But that's part of making these videos. I just don't want to get oil all over my stuff. There is a alignment dial here and one over here. And this one made my life a pain. Let's just say that. So we are going to just get a real fine tipped screwdriver. Use generally the smallest one you can find. And I don't like to drive in like this. I like to drive in like this. And then try to use a screwdriver that has a smooth tip. And just keep wiggling. Then go to the other side, and if you have to drive it in, do it. This, since I've already had this apart, this is actually coming apart. And once you get that locked up, sometimes these things fight. It does not come off that easy if these have not been opened. That one right there, I cleaned the dial and everything because it had a ton of rust on it. That's why this one came apart real easy. But just lift straight up and rotate off. That's how you take them apart. Going back together is way harder. You can see there's a magnet down here. And this had just a little bit of just metallic paste almost. And then right here, I had some of that metallic flake. This is actually aluminum because, grab the GoPro. It's actually aluminum because I had to tap and re-drill these. This one and this one. These are the two motor mount holes. And as you can see from the factory, and this was like this. This is not me. There was a hole right there in mine. And that is actually the hole for the motor mount bolt. Now, whenever I realized that, I actually put silicone in there. And I put silicone in there before I ever did any of the tap work or anything like that. And it worked, I guess. Get off of there. But this little silicone, I guess whenever I tighten the bolt, it actually pushed through. And the silicone and the, I guess some of the flake that was left, that I didn't vacuum out of there, actually pushed in there. And that flake got into there. And I'm guessing went through these teeth. But so far, I have not found a single issue with all the gears. So I'm hoping that aluminum was just so soft that it didn't damage anything. But I'm going to go ahead, replace the bearings, because this one where that snap ring was actually had just a tiny bit of metallic flake. Actually, right there's one little bitty piece. And I know these bearings need to be tight. I know that the J series, I don't know if they're, well, I shouldn't say I know. People put the 6-gear cuffs and stuff in them to keep them shafts from bowing out just a little bit and damaging it. So I'm going to go ahead and replace them. Even if I didn't have all these issues, I would still end up replacing them, because I want this car to not need any maintenance for a few years. I'm going to have 2 cars going, and I'm expecting all kinds of issues out of the hatch with the amount of power I want to make out of it. So this car, I want to make sure I get reliable and make sure I don't have any issues out of it. So I'm going to go ahead, replace the bearings, even these, and we'll go from there. Actually, oh, that's just an air bubble. But yeah, like, subscribe. You know, if you want to see any more content, let me know in the comments. And then keep an eye out for the Del Sol videos and the hatch videos. I'm going to have a bunch of stuff. So if you want to see anything different or any explanations, let me know. Oh, I am going to go ahead and show how the micro skirt's wired up. I'm going to do an in detail video on that. And then that way I have it on record. My buddy that I built his, or helped wire his car in, he has it. And then you guys will have it too. So you can do this too. I never wired a car or a whole motor from top to bottom like this. I've never done mega squirt. I've never done micro squirt. I've never done even a full standalone. So if I can do it, you can do it, and I'll help you along the way if I can. All right, guys, we'll catch you in the next video.